Happy Monday, everyone. It's the first day of spring. We're talking to a Maine dad who went viral with his rants about his kids being home.
If you're thinking about having an Airbnb, we will tell you some things you need to know.
Plus, a Skowhegan woman accused of some serious animal cruelty charges. We actually spoke with her.
This is News Center now.
They're portraying me out to be a monster that I'm not. I never abused an animal. I never muzzled an animal never have I muzzled an animal.
That's the woman who police say abused dogs and sold them with fake records. Now, she admits some, but not all, of the accusations against her are true. Good evening, everybody. I'm Lee Goldberg.
I'm Amanda Hill. The Skowhegan woman has been called a lot of things since the charges came out. News Center's Samantha York got her side of the story just a short time ago. And Sam, there are some serious allegations against her.
Yeah, Amanda, absolutely. Now, and what she had to say was that basically she has never abused an animal ever, and that the police are making the situation seem much worse than it actually is. Now, she said she has been selling the pets out of her home for about a year now, and that they are all well cared for. Now, police said that some of the pets were found in the garage with no food or water. Busier claims that is not true. However, she did admit that she has given out false documentation regarding vaccinations and vet info to people in the past, but it was only a couple times. When we asked her about the photos that police released, she had this to say.
The puppies were not on a urine-soaked towel. I just given them a bath. They can smell them. They were clean. The mother dog was a little skinny because she just had puppies. She just went to the vet a week before that and got the clear. She had a rabies shot. She went to a vet clinic. The dogs were not deprived.
Now, we also spoke with Skowhegan police as well as a woman who has been tracking Busier for the past few years. I'll have that coming up on News Center at 5:30. Lee and Amanda.
All right, Samantha, thank you very much. And already people on Facebook weighing in, as you would imagine. Steven says that woman should never be allowed to own a pet again, and a lot of comments, and there's going to be a lot of discussion over this topic.
This is certainly a big talker for sure. Yeah.
Sam, thank you very much. All right, Maine is known as vacation land, but its largest city is proposing some restrictions to a very popular type of lodging for tourists, short-term rentals.
You've probably heard of companies like Airbnb and HomeAway. Property owners post pictures and descriptions of their homes on those sites, and then tourists are able to rent out a room, an apartment, or an entire home for a short period of time.
But some problems have popped up in Portland. Residents have complained about loud tenants and the constant flow of strangers in and out of their neighbors' homes. Others have said that having an unlimited number of short-term rentals is not helping the city's housing crisis.
News Center's Jessica Gagne has more on what changes could actually be coming from this.
That's right, guys. Here are the regulations that the Housing Committee is recommending at tonight's first reading. All property owners will be allowed to rent out their primary residences as short-term rentals. So if you live there, you can rent your space. Non-owner occupied single-family homes or condos would not be allowed to be rented short-term except for on the islands. Multifamily and mixed-use buildings will be required to register as short-term rentals and pay fees, and there will be a limit on the number of units allowed in each building. There is also a proposed cap of 300 non-owner occupied short-term rentals in mainland Portland, with a limit of no more than 5 units per person. The goal of the regulations is to reduce the negative impact that short-term rentals are having on Portland's housing stock. Officials say Portland is in a housing crisis, and residents have complained that those who want to live in Portland year-round are paying the price.
I understand that Airbnb is a way for people that are homeowners to make some money to help pay their rents and whatever, but I don't want to see them not renting out, owners of buildings not renting out apartments to people that need it, and renting out just to Airbnb people that come in from away.
Short-term rentals are certainly not unique to Portland. They are available throughout the state. Cottage Connection in Boothbay says that they've had great success with short-term rental sites like Airbnb, and that Portland should look at the way other Maine communities are handling things before putting so many restrictions in place.
They're trying to regulate or overregulate something that's a natural part of life now. And people have a right to do what they want with their property. Portland might take a look at the city of Rockland, which has a really good plan that they developed to deal with short-term lodging, and it could probably be very easily adapted to Portland without reinventing the wheel.
Again, this is the first reading of the proposed changes for short-term rentals in Portland. A final action on the topic is scheduled for next week.
All right, Jessica, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And if you're thinking about short-term rentals with your property, you probably have a lot of questions.
Yeah, Adrian, it can certainly seem tempting, but it's definitely not for everybody.
It's not, but you know, when you hear about the potential boost to your bottom line, these short-term rentals, they are appealing. Airbnb, for example, says the 3,700 hosts in the state made a combined $26 million last year alone. A typical Maine host, according to the company, made nearly $6 grand in extra income. But beware, because business and marketing professor Dr. Patricia Griffin at USM says this really is not for everyone.
And so you have to think about, do I want strangers in my house? Do I want to run the risk of strangers breaking things or stealing things from my house? It's always a potential problem, always.
Some hosting platforms like Airbnb provide liability insurance to cover renter damage. Others don't, however, and do make sure you check your homeowner's policy if there's damage or theft. Most policies do not cover it if you're not also living there at the time of the rental. And keep in mind, when you rent short-term, you'll probably spend more time cleaning, vetting tenants, and maintaining the property. So bottom line, you just want to make sure that the money you're making from it really is worth it. And if it is, Dr. Griffin says marketing is the key here. Get some good pictures and focus on providing and listing the amenities that you would want if you were a visitor from away. Back to you guys.
Lots of info. Thanks, Adrian. Hey, not a bad way to bring in the first day of spring, right?
That's right. And what else is today?
That's it.
Oh, what else is today?
What else is today, Keith?
Nothing.
Is
First day of
it
spring.
special today? Like maybe your birthday?
I'm an extra year old is what's happened here. I kind of stopped caring about it now that I'm a little bit over 30. Anyways, let's talk about what's going on. It's 49 in Portland right now, 48 in Rockland. Kind of a late day surge across much of Maine into the upper 40s, even kissed 50 in spots like Freiburg, sitting at 50 right now. Nice and sunny, beautiful day, as you guys mentioned. I think we're going to see more clouds as we head into the day tomorrow, but we stay in the 40s. Side note, look at that. That's that ocean storm that just missed us yesterday. Just moved right across the mid-coast and down east with a few flurries there, but for the most part it was indeed a miss. Through the day on Tuesday, more clouds come in, maybe an isolated sprinkle. It will, though, be mild on Tuesday, temperatures in the mid-40s, but it is a short-lived mild spell, guys. A cold blast coming for Wednesday. We'll talk how cold that's going to be in a few minutes.
All right, sir, looking forward to that. Hey, it's going to be a packed agenda tonight for the Portland City Council. Another issue up for discussion, $64 million proposal to renovate Portland's elementary schools.
It's been in the works for months, and tonight we will find out if it actually goes to voters. It's a lot of money, and some are not convinced they need to spend it. Dustin Vladkowski will be following that decision tonight. Dustin?
Hey, Amanda and Lee, this is the third or fourth meeting on this topic that I've been to over the past 9 months to give you an idea of how long this has gone on. The issues at the schools range from student safety to accessibility and also reducing noise in classrooms. A variety of plans have been proposed to fix the problem. That $64 million one that you were talking about was developed by an ad hoc committee of school officials and city officials together. However, some city councilors feel that that is too expensive and that the city needs to go another direction. They may put forth another plan that incorporates a combination of city funding and state funding to try and fix some schools and then all of the elementary schools. So we're going to see what happens at the meeting tonight. We're going to hear from Mayor Strimling at 6. That's all coming your way later on tonight, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Dustin. Coming up, the good, the bad, and the just plain dirty job of being a dog groomer.
Yeah, and the old saying, something happens, it really does happen here.
Oh, it isn't all fun and games for a husband and wife duo whose job it is to keep your pets fresh and clean. New Center Now returns in a moment.
You know, if anything happens, he's right here. You know, I don't have to find him and call him.
What do you think about working with your significant other? Would you love it?
Would you hate it?
Would you hate it? Would it make it harder to get anything done?
Yeah, I would think so. But Sally Davis started up Top Dog Grooming in Auburn about 10 years ago, and a few years in, her husband John joined her. A day in their lives, not so clean cut.
We met at work. She was the boss.
Yes, I was his boss. I'm not his boss anymore, but we laugh if we're away from each other for a couple hours. This is Missy's big day out. Her mother goes to get her hair done. They get their nails done, their ears cleaned, then we give them a bath. We blow dry them. It's usually the little tiny ones that are a struggle. I love dogs. I would have many dogs, but we have too many grandchildren for that. Very happy boy. We have Coleman. He hides in the bathroom a lot. Coleman, come here. He loves people. Sometimes he doesn't want other dogs to be here. He said, this is my house. See? Hi. Of course, there's always the heartbreak, too. People call us up and they'll be like, oh, we have to tell you, you know, Ryder passed away or whoever. Oh, it's heartbreaking. It really is. I didn't expect that. No, I can't imagine not being around dogs all day. You know, even if you came, like you could come in here in a grouchy mood or be upset, but then you get a little doggy face in your face, there goes your bad. You can't be in a bad mood to do this. It's the best. They don't argue with you. They don't. And the funny thing is I didn't grow up with dogs, so I always just assumed I was allergic to dogs. I was always told that, and I guess I must have sneezed around them when I was a kid. So when I started school, I said, what am I going to do? And they were like, well, take a allergy pill. Well, I never have had to take one. I'm obviously not allergic to dogs. It is therapy. People will come in off the street just to look at the dog. Yeah, and the old saying, something happens, it really does happen here. We're cleaning up all day, you know? That's the
unmentionable stuff.
By the way, this is part of a series we're doing on Now to highlight some interesting jobs that Maine people have. So, of course, if you have any ideas, send them our way using the hashtag #AskNow.
This was not the highest priority, but it was still important for us to solve this case because of the national and international attention that it brought, and it seems there was a lot of interest in it.
Okay, but this was the highest priority for Patriot Nation, and finally, authorities have tracked down Tom Brady's Super Bowl jersey. It went missing just after the historical comeback win in Houston.
Following a tip, though, Houston police were able to track the sacred shirt to Mexico. They also found the jersey Brady wore in the 2015 win over the Seahawks, believe it or not.
See, I thought it was Johnny Mailer who had taken the jersey, but specific details about the investigation are limited. The police did reveal, though, that the suspect had a credential as a member of the international media.
Not the main media, which is what we were
Not the Drive for
credentialed
Five team. We are totally clear. Getting ready.
We're good.
It's the Fix for 6. Hey, birthday boys, get your forecast coming up. It's getting chillier when we come back.
All right, parents, think of the first time you sent your kids off to college. It was kind of emotional, right? But then you kind of get used to having the house to yourself, maybe even turn their room into an office. But then they come back for break and they drive you bananas. Just ask my mom. But one man in Cape Elizabeth has been chronicling the highs and lows of having kids in school, with a lot of people saying, you know, he just gets me.
And I figured, hey, I'll share with my buddies and my kids on Facebook and I'll get a couple of laughs out of it.
Yeah, how about a couple million though? This video from Dan Howard about having his kids home from college for break was the rant heard around the world.
Even the milk was left out. It was sour. Those rascals. But such nice kids. Great having them home.
The first couple of days, it was actually, there was a lot of views, but like day 4 or 5, it just took off. It was amazing.
And a little crazy for his kids to come to terms with the fact that their dad went viral.
I went onto Boston.com and it was like Donald Trump, Tom Brady, and my dad's face, like below the two of them. So we're like, how is this real?
As the view count skyrocketed, so did the number of headlines, and Dan's phone was ringing off the hook.
I go on Facebook and all my sorority sisters had already seen it before me on Facebook. I was like, he has 30 friends. Like, this makes no sense.
I said to my kids, I would have combed my hair and put a better shirt on if I knew it was going to go past Grover Road.
The clip highlights the love-hate relationships parents have with their college kids.
I've actually called the airlines, bus terminals, trains. There's no way to get it back to college. Do you think Uber?
But also the hysterical bond Dan shares with his family, fueled with plenty of laughs.
It's almost annoying because you'll want to be mad about something and then he'll just make it into this like huge joke about how dramatic we are or something, and it's like, just understand our problems. He's a great person, great guy, so I'm happy for him.
You know, they're healthy, they're happy. That's what we care about. You know, that's the bottom line. So that's what we hope. Keep our fingers crossed and get them out the door.
All right, I was laughing throughout the entire interview. He's still doing a lot of videos. And of course, when you have a viral thing, you're getting all sorts of weird messages. He said he actually got a marriage request. And I asked him what his wife had to say about that. And he said that she said to go for it because she's exhausted.
Oh.
I love his daughter. Like, he has 30 friends. Like, how is this even possible?
I love it.
Oh,
No,
that's great.
they seem like such a great family, just always laughing. And his videos are hysterical. So if you haven't seen them, please check them out.
I don't want any of my kids to ever leave the house.
Lie. You lie.
Keith's here. Keith's
When
here.
you have that
Keith's
many
here.
kids, you can get them to do things for you.
Yeah. You have 22 now, don't you?
Right.
22
And
kids.
counting. Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Check my
And
text
keeps
message.
going up.
Something like
We might
that.
have just had another one. Hold on.
Keeps going up. Hey guys, what a weekend for skiing. Now you guys have accused me of photoshopping this, but actually, this is me.
Wow.
A great picture, right?
Look at you.
That is a good picture.
So that's Sugarloaf's resident photographer Jamie, who made me feel like I didn't even know how to ski.
That's going on the wall, though.
So were you?
That is
Yeah.
going on the wall.
I believe that's your new
Oh,
profile
there it
picture,
is.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyways, moving on.
Is that the wind blowing you over?
Yeah. Somebody gave me tips on my Facebook. They're like, drive that knee forward. I'm like, yeah. Anyways, 49 right now in Portland, 47 in Lewiston, 50 in Freiburg after a nice sunny weekend. Another sunny day today. It'll be clear overnight tonight, but there will be some more clouds. You can see them back across Vermont and upstate New York. Those will move in tonight. So as the clouds move in, temperatures stay mild for your Tuesday, but it won't be as bright a day as today, and it won't be as nice overall. Just a chance for an isolated sprinkle later in the afternoon. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow. You can see a couple of those raindrops around, and they will be rain because of how mild it will be. But not a big deal, still remaining nice. And then an Arctic cold front comes through on Wednesday. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and that will change our whole picture here in Maine for a couple of days. We're going to crash right back down. In fact, we have an interesting chance at a record that nobody but weather weenies like me care about. It's called the minimum maximum temperature. So what happens is you record high temperatures for the day, and you have records for what the coldest high temperature for that day is. On Wednesday, we have a chance of breaking that. Portland's record is 28. Right now, temperatures likely to be in the upper 20s, so we have a chance of it being the coldest, warmest part of the day. Hope that makes some sense. Anyways, when that front comes through on Wednesday, we will see some snow across northern Maine and some snow squalls in the mountains as well. But the overall theme here is that we're kind of playing on the wrong side of the field temperature-wise. Temperatures below average on Wednesday and Thursday, back up Friday and Saturday, but our average this time of year is 43. So we don't really have anything that's above that necessarily in the next 5 to 7 days. After that, we go back to milder weather for Friday. The weekend looks kind of interesting. I can't decide on it quite yet, so we're just going to kind of play the middle. There is going to be a storm system to our south, and if it stays there, we'll just see a sprinkle, maybe a flurry. But obviously, that being 7 days away, we'll watch that as we get closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Part of the deal, right?
Yeah.
It's his birthday. Can't really argue with him.
That's fair.
We'll wait
Yeah.
till tomorrow.
I showed up.
We'll do it
Something.
tomorrow. Yeah.
We'll be right back.
All right, raindrops time. Today's is a little bit different. This here is nicknamed the bullet ant.
It's gross.
It's disgusting.
They're about an inch in reality, so about that big, bullet ant. What makes this interesting is that it has the most painful sting on the planet. That's where it got the nickname bullet. People said it felt like being shot when it happens, and roughly equivalent to 30 bee stings at once every time it bites you.
Where are they located? Please don't say Maine.
In the Amazon.
Oh,
and this is where it gets really interesting. So there's a ritual for this tribe in the Amazon in which kids starting at the age of 10 have to put on these gloves, and we're going to show you this here in a second. They weave the ants under sedation into these gloves, and then they put the gloves on, and they have to have them on for 10 minutes. And so these kids from 10 on, they have to do it 15 to 20 times over the course of their life, have to get bit by these bullet ants 15, 20 times.
I watched this earlier. It's horrifying.
It's supposed to make them stronger warriors. Interesting side note, they've done some research on this, and it actually seems to help fight cancer. But they didn't know that when they started doing it. It just was supposed to make them stronger.
Okay, well, you're lucky you said that, because otherwise that's child abuse.
I mean, I would go through that, yeah.
But that's what's crazy is in this tribe, they do this to 10-year-olds. Here, if you take away somebody's cell phone for a weekend, it's like child abuse.
Yeah, you got
very
Child
interesting.
Protective Services.
I want to get bit by
Maybe
one bullet ant. Just one bullet ant.
Just one.
No, I'm good. Thank you for that, though. That would be good TV. Let's do it on TV.
Hey, much more news ahead at 5:30.
See you tomorrow.
I'd probably cry, actually. I know.